If God had a name, what would it be, and would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? And yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good. Yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. If God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets. And yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Just trying to make his way home. Back up to heaven all alone. Nobody calling on the phone, except maybe the Pope and maybe in Rome. Yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Trying to make his way home. Like a holy rolling stone. Back up to heaven all alone. Just trying to make his way home. Nobody calling on the phone, except maybe the Pope, maybe in Rome. What if we were the face, the name, the unnameable thing that brings us together, that created men and women to be attracted to each other and want to procreate and expand on that joy they had, at least for a second, in that space. The thing that causes sperm to enter the egg and fight to stay there and control and germinate and grow and become greater. And how can we stop containing it in specific ways, but be able to learn how to live with it and learn how to expand on this feeling of peace inside of ourselves? And sometimes that means quieting things down and sitting with the noise in our heads and taking time to question what's meaningful. What do we want to make meaning out of? We are gifted with this intelligence and a brain that we can use to learn and grow and adapt and change. We have discernment, which allows us to choose wisely about the ideas that we will have in our heads that can create something wonderful, create joy, create happiness, create peace, create order and consistency and a sense of stability in ourselves. And then we also have the ability to create whatever we want. And we have the choice to create from a place of inclusion and generosity and love and understanding, caring. And then we also have a choice to ignore it and to shut it down and be scared because it feels really weird and it's uncomfortable and we don't know how to do it. There's no real manual for the feelings, and we have to go through them and we have to feel them because that's what makes us real, human. And joy and laughter and surprise is also, an incredible gift that we have being alive. And eating, another great, delicious gift that we have in being alive, and finding joy in all of these places that we have conflict in our being, in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls, in our moral values, finding some place of stability to land, to know what we really, really want to make our lives great, to make our lives healthier, to make the lives of everyone around us also great and healthy. Because if we're only for ourselves, then we can't stop there. We gotta expand beyond it because we do coexist in the world. And it requires feeling hard stuff and questioning it. Questioning the hard stuff. Is it really real? And some of it is definitely happening and it's real. But then there's other things that we can control that are in our ability to be like solid in ourselves, solid in the sense of self, that you know where you stand on love, where you stand on pain, where you stand on grief, where you stand on things that happened in your past that keep holding you down in one place, stuck and not able to accept what's happened and learn and use it wisely, like that benevolent force that happens in Star Wars. That force is our right and our privilege as human beings. That force is a connection of our mind and our heart and our ambition, our well-being, our courage, our abilities to have strength to, I'm rambling, so thanks for listening on my mental thought processes. But ultimately, we can only control our individual thoughts. And we can choose who we want to listen to. We can change the channel. We can listen to another station. We can dial it up and listen really loud to drown out anything else that we're thinking. And maybe that's what original prayer form has been. It's a structure that we can climb on and play with, like a jungle gym. But for so long, many years, I felt like I was doing it wrong. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know, it just was like not anything I wanted to understand or explore. But by working with that discomfort and wanting to know more, then I allowed myself space to be wrong in it, to get make mistakes, to not get it right. But showing up is the most important part, and showing up with that understanding that it's not going to look perfect immediately, that it's going to take practice and consistency and patience. And Faith is a practice. It's a connection to a rope to pull me out of the chaos of my inner ego and battles that I am constantly fighting within in my head. And it allows me a way to climb up out of the chaos into the light, into blessing and being grateful for what is, even if it's hard. So, what if God was one of us? What if you are one of us? What if we are all on the bus, trying to make our way home? How can we be the perfect stranger? The one who is willing to feel uncomfortable and allow for themselves to be welcoming. How can I welcome in all the hard parts and be able to transform that into something useful that will carry me forward into a more loving, peaceful world? Maybe that's the question that I want to ask. Or at least ask why. Why? Why is this happening? And what can I do to make it better? So yes, this unnameable thing, this unity, this unifying force, we could limit it to that word, God, and it has so much anxiety wrapped around that word. So love is a good option. It works for me. It's expansive, it's inclusive, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet at the table of love and plenty and abundance. So I hope that this is a savory, delicious moment that you can appreciate, and that we learn to live and love with each other and for each other, because what else are we here for? Just a stranger on the bus trying to make our way home. Let's give a call. Let's call out for help. Call out for love. Call out for whatever we need to say. And pretend like somebody is there listening. They might not be acting on it immediately, but